Herd Hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
I thought Seattle, missing their 4 best defensive linemen, looked great. Geno Smith, that dude throws a beautiful ball, is totally in tune with DK Metcalf. I like their running backs. I mean, I'm sorry, Geno leads the NFL in passing yards, second in completion percentage. Kenneth Walker, I was blown away. Seattle didn't have their 4 best defensive linemen against the best O-line in the league. You knew they wouldn't make stops. I thought Geno was exceptional on a Monday night on the road, Seattle at 10.
Number 9.
Texans, only loss came on the road to the Vikings. They got housed, didn't have Joe Mixon. But their top 8 offense, top 5 defense, and I love C.J. Stroud. Joe Mixon's coming back. Listen, C.J. Stroud is a young quarterback. Did you see Caleb Williams this week when he got a run game with DeAndre Swift? Oh, Caleb looked pretty good. As good as C.J. Stroud is, and he's got his weapons like Nico Collins, young quarterbacks especially, they need their running backs. Joe Mixon returns. I like Houston 9.
Number 8.
The Packers. It's weird. They're 0-2 with Jordan Love and 2-0 without him. They do lead the NFL in big plays. I like all their structure. Listen, Jordan Love hasn't taken a lot of snaps because of the injury, and he's not quite ready to go. Second half, the offense looked better than the first half. They lead the NFL in takeaways, so Green Bay is a feisty, aggressive defense, which is what their fans have been complaining about for years. How come the defense can't be as good as the offense? I still think Green Bay is an ascending team. It is a young team with a quarterback that comes in rusty. They're going to be just fine.
Number 7.
I don't know what to do with the Commanders, but they're breaking every single NFL record offensively. Jaden Daniels, we thought he was going to be like Lamar Jackson light. Is he? Or is he just Lamar Jackson? I mean, the kid's incredible. I just read here this morning, he has 5 total touchdowns and 6 complete incompletions over the last 2 games. I do think the Cliff Kingsbury OC hire, and we predicted this, we thought Washington would be a playoff team. I think all flushing out the bad vibes, the bad owner, bringing an entirely new organization in, owner down. For the first time in a decade, everything is good vibes and positivity. I don't know where it lands. I don't know when the regression is coming. But I thought Arizona was one of the better sides of the week, and they blew them out in Arizona. I'll put Washington at 7.
Number 6.
I know they won last night, but that defense on the back end. Jared Goff, once again, is the strength of a team, and nobody wants to acknowledge it. In the last 2 weeks, he's completing 88% of his throws. They've got an over-the-top receiver. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have 2 backs I like, a great offensive line. Don't trust Dan Campbell in situational football. But here's the reality with Detroit. It is hard not to be a good team when you have a dominating running game and a dominating O-line and a very capable Super Bowl quarterback. They're just going to win a lot of games. They're going to mash a lot of people, and it's not always going to be pretty. I have Detroit at 6.
Number 5.
Buffalo. Now, they're getting some of their linebackers who were injured back. They were a mess this past week, and they ran into a buzzsaw. It's called Lamar Jackson. He does that at home a lot. He blew out the Niners and the Lions last year in Miami. I'm not selling my Buffalo stock. I think they have offensive balance between Kincaid and James Cook. The rookie receiver looks special to me. I think Buffalo's going to be fine. They've been a roller coaster for years. All Kansas City games look the same. Buffalo doesn't. Buffalo's a little Dallas Cowboy. They're a little Mike Tyson. Knockout or unraveling. That's kind of their DNA. I still think they're good. Buffalo 5.
Number 4.
San Francisco. So now they're getting their guys back, Debo and Kittle. They don't have Christian McCaffrey, but the reality is they lead the NFL in time of possession. It's still Shanahan, Purdy, Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, Jennings. Come on. When this team is healthy, with or without Christian McCaffrey, it's a really good football team. And again, Fred Warner is playing linebacker at a level we have not seen for a long, long time. San Francisco at 4.
Number 3.
I'll never sell my Raven stock. I'll never sell it. They look like the fastest team in the league. If Kansas City's got the fastest defense, they have the fastest offense. And he may never beat Patrick Mahomes. Number 1 total offense with Derrick Henry now. Number 1 rushing offense. They're not very good on the back end. Everybody's got a flaw. You start paying your quarterback huge money, everybody's got a hole. The Chiefs have a wide receiver hole now with Rashee Rice. Ravens have a little bit of a hole. I like Kyle Hamilton. Maybe they have a cornerback issue. But I'm not selling my stock. Derrick Henry leads the league in rushing with Lamar. Baltimore or Buffalo literally looked like they were waving the flag Monday night. Like they had zero answers, 9 yards of play.
Number 2.
Minnesota, I don't think it's a fluke. I didn't buy into the Saints. I'm not sure if I bought into the Jets after they beat New England. I buy into this team. Everything works. Their defensive coordinator's excellent. Their special teams are consistent. Their offense is amazing. They have the tall Sean McVay as a coach. They're not only 4-0, they're 4-0 against the spread. They're beating people badly. Darnold leads the NFL in touchdown passes, passer rating, and the defense leads the NFL in sacks. It's not a star-studded defense. It's not Kansas City where you can see it completely disrupting people and it's the same 2 or 3 guys. It's Chris Jones every week wreaking havoc. It's not that, but it's good, and it's exceptionally coached, and I have Minnesota at 2.
Number 1.
Listen, Mahomes is 18-14 when trailing by 10 or more points. That's a silly stat. But the other thing that we have to acknowledge, Rashee Rice had become a really, really elite receiver, and you cross your fingers, but that's trouble. Xavier Worthy's not a volume guy, but he is an over-the-top guy. Are they going to be at the trade deadline in the market for a receiver? I'm not quite sure. They won last year without Worthy. They didn't even have an over-the-top receiver. Again, their structure's so good, but Mahomes has 5 picks, and 4 have been ugly. I just kind of trust them. Every game looks the same. I've said this for 2 weeks. They look like New England. You're just very good defensively, great coach, amazing quarterback. I mean, how many great receiving cores did New England have? It always felt like they had an Edelman or they'd have a Welker. When they had Moss, they didn't win a Super Bowl. So my takeaway is this is my best top 10 so far. I feel very strongly about this top 10, and Nick Wright is going to join me now live. First things first, I kind of like my top 10 there.
Yeah,
I kind of do. I don't think there's a lot of pushback, right?
No, I was trying to find something I couldn't stand about it, and you're right. It doesn't have the glaring errors I've come to expect from the herd hierarchy. I would bump the Lions a bit. That would be my only nit to pick, so to speak. And listen, when Goff is protected, they look as dangerous as any offense in the league. And yesterday, even without Frank Ragnow, now you mentioned Seattle's injuries up front, that is noteworthy. They were able to protect him, and he played a brilliant football game. And so, as far as the best team on the outside looking in, I know for a long time people would be like, why aren't the Jets in there? And then you can just be like, well, did you see the game this weekend? That's why the Jets aren't in there. I like it, Colin. Your Chargers aren't there anymore. How the mighty have fallen, but I think they'll be back at some point. But I can't really take any issue with it. I think this is your best work to date so far. So yeah, I like it.